Okay, practice test 3. This one, I laid out more like the actual test, spread things out for you a little bit. So here we go. This one starts a little differently, but it's the same questions, just in a different order. So first of all, we are finding the inverses. So we all know what these steps are to find the inverse. What is the first step?
Switch the y and the x.
Switch the x and the y. So I remember that f of x is y. So when I switch my variables, I'm going to have x equals 4y plus 7. And then what is my goal?
Get y by
Get
itself.
y by itself. And what am I going to do to get y by itself?
4.
I'm not dividing by 4. Come on
Subtracting
now.
the 7.
I'm going to subtract 7 and then divide by 4. So your inverse is x minus 7 divided by 4. And that's what you'll write in the answer one. Now, the next one, same directions, same thing, but this is one that's going to take a few more steps. But we know what those steps are because we had a quiz over this, right? So here we go. What's first?
You gotta flip the, oh no.
Change the
I
3y
already
times.
switched
You
the
gotta
X and
multiply
Y.
Multiply
3
4y
twice.
plus 4.
So bring that over and distribute. So remember, you're taking that whole parentheses times x. So you're gonna have 3y times x and 4 times x.
You gotta flip 4x to 2y.
These guys are gonna switch places. I have to do that step because this problem has 2 y's in it. This problem didn't have 2 y's, so I didn't need to worry about that. But I have 2 y's in this problem. So I have to get them on the same side so that I can do what?
Combine it.
Factor out the y. And then divide by 3x minus 2. You gotta get that, that's gotta be the denominator, guys. So your inverse is negative 4x minus 1 over 3x minus 2. And that's what you will put in the answer one. All right? Given this thing, all right, let me look at it here real quick. I'm gonna label these points, because I know eventually I'm going to be doing what? Oh, sketching the inverse.
Yep.
And I know what I'm gonna do to sketch the inverse. In a minute, I'm gonna start answering the questions, just give me a second to catch up here. Okay, first question. Is the inverse a function? No. Why not? It doesn't pass the horizontal line test. Is this a function?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that isn't the question. It's, is the inverse a function? No, it doesn't pass the horizontal line test. What does the inverse look like? Sketch it. Well, I'm just gonna take each of these points and flip-flop them, right? So instead of, well, 1 stays the same, but instead of 2 0, I apply 0 2, and there I go. Practice that on your own. Make sure you got that. That should be easy, easy points. Create your own function. So just draw a picture of something that is not one-to-one. So what does not one-to-one mean? It doesn't pass both, right? So can you think of a shape that doesn't pass both?
A square.
A square. That's not a function. So why don't we think of our BFFs? Let's think of our BFFs. What's a BFF that doesn't pass both tests?
Exponential.
Like,
Exponential actually passes both tests.
Euler's constant? Or Euler's constant?
Square root.
Euler's
Square
constant?
root.
Square root passes both tests. The parabola does not pass both tests. So you could draw a parabola. That is not one-to-one because it passes vertical but not horizontal. How about the absolute value V? How, does it pass both tests, the V? No, so that would be another one. How about the sine function? Does
Cube
it pass
doesn't.
both? No, it doesn't pass horizontal.
Cube doesn't.
Cube passes both.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like the V.
No, that's the.
That's
cube is
absolute value.
the X.
Absolute value does not pass both. Right? So what would be a function? This question was, draw me something that isn't one-to-one. What if we had to be one-to-one?
Cube.
Square root, cube, linear, those are exponential, logarithm, those are all one-to-one. All right, next page. All right, another really easy question. Your job is to find X and Y. What do we do? Plug in -2. So what happens if I plug in -2? What do I get for my point?
11.
11? 4. Done. Oh my gosh, if you missed that, you should be smacked. That is so easy, right? So easy. All right, number 5. Notice when I wrote my problem, I lined my T's up. Why did I line my T's up? Because I want to add them together and make them cancel out?
Yep.
Well, they don't. So what am I gonna do to make that happen?
Multiply by -3.
By what?
Oh, -2.
I'm
-2.
gonna multiply this row, this equation, by -2. So x equals 1 plus 6t, and then -2y equals -6t.
Yeah.
-2. There's no number there, no panic. Put a 0 in if it's bothering you, just put a 0 in there. Now, what happens when I add? What's this equal when I add these? X minus 2y. Don't multiply them. It's x plus -2y, x minus 2y. Equals, where I get here, 1. That's gone, that's your answer. Can you redo these problems on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're a little bothered by that, do it again. Those are the steps you go through. Just do my steps and you'll get the right answer. Practice it. All right, number 6. I got this figure 1. I'm going to figure 2, and I need to know what changed. So look at the 2 pictures. Let's just make a list. What changed? Looks like it went up 1. Sideways flip. What?
The x's are multiplied by 2.
I don't think so. that lifted up one.
Oh.
Lifted up one. It's not taller or shorter. It's just moved.
And it got flipped.
Yeah, we got that sideways flip and up one. So here's your equation. What do I put in there to make that happen? What makes up one?
Plus one.
Plus one at the end.
Plus
and
one at
then
the end.
Negative
Negative
X.
X.
And then negative x. There's your answer. There's your answer. All you do is figure out what changed. And then you know the rules. Just stick in the numbers and the negatives and whatever. Okay, are these two inverses? What are we gonna do to decide?
Pick a number to.
All right, pick a number.
4.
4. So I'm gonna put 4 into F. What do I get if I put 4 into F? 3. Then I'm gonna take the 3 and put it into G. What do I get when I put 3 into G? Oh, well, what does that mean?
They are.
Yeah, they are.
They are inverses. Because what happened? Because F of 4 was 3, and G of 3 was 4. And that's what's supposed to happen. If I had put in 3 and got 5, then they would not be inverses. Because F of 4 was 3, but G of 3 was not 4, it was 5 instead. So that would be a no, what we had originally. All right, now we've got our page of word problems. All right, so here we go. Write the equation for the volume of the box.
Leave
What is
X
the equation? What?
equals 20 minus 2X.
20 minus 20 minus 2x.
And then 12 minus 2X times X.
There it is. Right? What's the domain? That is x min and x max.
0.
X min is 0, x max is 6, because the smallest dimension is 12, and half of 12 is 6. Now I want the maximum volume, so I'm going to go to my calculator. So all of us are going to do this right now. We're all going to do it. Math is not a spectator sport.
So what do you do with your cursor when you get to the graph?
Figure that out. I told you over and over again, you haven't listened, ask your neighbor. Maybe your neighbor will tell you.
Well,
You go to the curve. You go like on that side.
And all are typing, graphing, moving cursors around, hitting enter.
That's not true. It's like, X, C, L.
You don't know how to do it.
Like, I know we put in like the information on the graph from here. It's like wrong.
All right, what'd you get, Grayson? You got an answer? Maximum volume. Did everybody get 262.67?
I got 68.
I got 68, yeah, I think you did fine, Grayson just rounded that last one wrong.
I got 0.5 at the end.
Wrong,
Really?
yeah. This is the answer.
262.5.
It's 262.68.
My calculator's wrong.
Yeah, oh, it's some, yeah, it's rounded wrong.
Why don't it shows me the last two? It just says 6. It doesn't say.
I don't know, I don't know what to say, because it's not, I'll have to type it back in, because I turned it off. I don't know what to say.
I don't have a curve number.
Where's the curve?
You need to,
How did I?
look at your handbook and find out how to deal with that.
How was
Yeah, it's 262.682. This is actually .682. And again, kids, there is one maximum. We can do this problem by hand when we learn some calculus, and there will be one answer. It isn't, oh, my calculator says this, and my, no, no, no. There's one answer. So if you're not getting that, then I'll see you in office hours tomorrow morning. We'll figure that out. If it's a rounding issue, then you just gotta be more careful. But if you're getting 0.5, you're off. I don't know what you're doing, but it's wrong. I don't know either.
What'd you get for the X?
I don't know. I'm not doing it again. I turned it off. Okay. All right. So again, we got office hours tomorrow. Bring your handy dandy little calculator in here if you're not getting the right thing, or sit back, don't do anything, and just miss the problem on Monday. All right. Bad idea. Up to you. All right. Number 9. I'm going to the restaurant. 1675. I'm gonna make 2 price adjustments. I'm gonna have a 7% tax, and I'm gonna have a 15% tip. Now, what do I multiply by if I have a 7% tax?
1.07.
1.07.
That's where I messed up.
What do I multiply by if I have a 15% tip? 1.15. Because both of these are add-ons. So we're not subtracting anything off, we're adding. So my meal is gonna cost me $20
61 cents.
and 61 cents, yep. All right, number 10. What is my format for number 10?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Percent plus, what time is it? Plus or minus?
I've got these 6 parentheses I need to fill in. And remember, these 2 are being added to these 2, and they are equaling these 2. I've got 23%. I've got 52%. And I've got 35%. By the way, in the homework, the question said something about pure orange juice.
100%.
100%. 100%. That's what pure means. It's 100%. All right. How much mixed with 30 ounces of this? Read it. 30 ounces of 52. To get a mixture that's 35. Now, I have always, I have one empty slot. The empty slot is over here in the total area. So what is it gonna be? Yep, it's the plus one. I'm gonna put 30 plus x, but x plus 30 is the same thing. All right, let's solve it. You're ahead of me just a second. Yep, you're exactly right, Brian. 42.5. And I'm gonna put a unit on that. Ounces. 42.5 ounces. That is exactly right. All right, here we go. My book cost, it used to cost 123, now it costs 134. Find the percent of increase. What do I do?
Subtract original.
Find the difference between them and divide it by the original. So what is that, 11? When I get this, I get a decimal, 0.08943. I have to move it 2 places to get a percent, so it's gonna be 8.94%. The book went up 8.94%. All right, and then we've got our graphic page. So here's the shape we're going to be using. All right, so you don't have to do this, but I think it's often helpful just to write down, what are you doing here? What is this?
Absolute value.
Well, I know it's absolute value, but
It makes the x's positive.
which means what?
The x's are positive.
It means I'm gonna draw the right side just as it is. And then I'm gonna mirror that onto the left.
Damn, I guess I won't fucking.
So, the right side of my picture,
That's a participant.
just recopying it exactly like it is. There it is, there's the right side of my picture. And then I redraw that exact same thing on the other side. So there it is. That's all there is to part A. Now, B is also an absolute value, but it's a different absolute value, isn't it?
Is this the whole thing about it?
This is, what do I do here? Bottoms up. So whatever is on the top, I'm gonna go ahead and draw the top parts. When you take the absolute value The top parts don't change. So there are the top parts. I just recopied them. Then, this little guy that is on the bottom, he's gonna come up. So that will be the big absolute value. Anything on the bottom comes up, anything that's on the top just stays there. Right? No issues with that. All right. This one has a little bit more going on. What's going to happen to this one? Upside down. And right one. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take my original picture and I'm going to add 1 to every X. I'm going to move every X over 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's going to be I'm not doing the whole problem, I am just doing the right one part. Alright, so take a look at that. Every X got added 1 to it. So instead of being at -5, this one's at -4. Does that look okay? Now I gotta turn it upside down. So I'm just gonna take everything and flip it upside down. So I flip that part up. I'm gonna erase this. This one's gonna come down. And that one's gonna come down. So the green one is my final answer. Most of you are doing a good job making sure I can change your answer. Okay, for D, the paper is not big enough, so I'm gonna change problem D to be -1/2 X, and it still isn't gonna be big enough, but I'm gonna change that 1/3 to a 1/2. And then I, of course, have the privilege of a nice big board. You do not have that. Improvising probably. Why am I doing this? Why do I think I need a big space here?
You have to
Because what does that number
multiply
do?
by 2.
It divides by a half.
This 1/3.
I changed it to a half
Yes, sir.
because a third makes it even bigger. So I changed it to a half. I'm changing this number to a half so that you can get it on your paper sort of, so it's tight. But this means I am dividing the x's by, now you can do -1/2 if you want, or you can do 1/2 and recognize that you're gonna have a sideways flip, right? So you have either one or the other, don't do both. The negative is gonna flip you sideways. If you divide your x's by a negative, that will flip you sideways. Take care of it. So let's look at our x coordinates. Let's look at the very first x coordinate. I'm reading right or left to right here. What is my first x in my original picture? What's my first x?
0, 0.
The first x, over here, farthest to the left.
6.
Negative 5. So I'm going to take negative 5 divided by negative a half, which is negative 5 times negative 2. So that first point is put on here at 10. So you're going to have to add some slash marks. Right here. Now, what is your second x?
3. Negative 3. Yep.
Isn't that point
2.
negative 4, negative 1?
Yeah, negative 4, negative 1.
So x is negative 4.
Yeah.
I'm reading it wrong.
Negative 4 divided by negative a half is 8.
8, yeah.
So that's going to be 8 negative 1. What's the next x you've got? Negative 3. So that's going to be 6. And then you have a 0 at 2, so that's going to be 4. So there is the first part of your picture. Notice how it's flipped to the other side. And it is twice as long.
Yeah.
Alright, now I've got negative 1, 2. So that's going to become 2, 2. So there's my triangle. Becomes negative 2, 3. 2, 3 becomes negative 4, 3. Remember, you are multiplying your y by negative 2. Or excuse me, your x. You're multiplying your x by negative 2. So what happened? It flip-flopped.
Yeah.
And it got twice as wide. Why did it get twice as wide? Because that number divides. Keep, change, flip. Dividing by 1/2 is times it by 2. All right, one more. What's going to happen in this one? What's this do?
Multiply by y.
Yep, multiply height. I sometimes think of it as height, y, same thing. Multiply y by 2. So it's going to be twice as tall. And then what does this guy do?
X. Multiply x by 2.
That number is not a multiplier. That number divides x by 2. Kids, look over here. What did that 1/2 do? It divided the x's by 1/2. Divides the x's by 2. So, we can do this one at a time. We divide all the x's by 2. 0, 0 is going to change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The original is over here at negative 5. That's going to be negative 2.5. I divide it by 2. Negative 5 halves. Negative 4 picture, I don't think some of you are paying much attention. In the original picture, what are the coordinates of that point right there? On that little triangle right there, what are that point? Negative 1, comma 2, right?
Yeah.
I'm dividing x by 2, so I'm gonna plot that point at negative 1/2, comma 2. Here's my trapezoid. My triangle. Now my trapezoid. What are the coordinates of, in the original picture, what are the coordinates of these points right here? What are these points? This is 1, comma 3, 2, comma 3, 3, comma 0, right?
Yeah.
Divide all the x's by 2 and plot them. So 1/2, comma 3, 1, comma 3, and 1/2, comma 0. I'm not done. All I have done is this part. What do I still need to do? Double the y's. So these y's are negative 1, so they're gonna be negative 2. This y is 2, so these are gonna be 4. Those guys are 3, so they are going to be 6. So the green thing is gonna end up being the Alright, that's our test. That's what we're gonna do on Monday. So what I want to do right now is hand these back so you can have a minute to look them over.